Hi guys, this is Amy with Keto-licious Life and welcome back to my channel. Today we're in my kitchen and I just wanted to talk to you guys about the Keto Flu and electrolytes. So stay tuned. But basically, you've all heard of the Keto Flu, and we know that when we're on keto, let me see if I can turn you, there we go, turn you a little bit. So we know that when we're on keto that we deplete our water goes out, and then with that we deplete out all of our minerals, our sodium, potassium, and magnesium. So it's really important that we replenish that. We either need to replenish it through food or we need to replenish it through supplements or extra salt in your water. So just wanted to show you and talk about that a little bit and then show you a couple things that I do. So first of all, let's talk about, the keto flu. We know that the keto flu makes you feel really sick. When you are low on those minerals, you will start to get cramps. You will start to feel very sluggish and tired. You can get headaches. I mean, the list goes on and on. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I will link this website that I am using as some of the information below, just to help me not forget things to talk about. But I wanted to mention some of the things that I have experienced after reading this list that now I think back and I go, yeah, I was probably totally depleted of my potassium. So potassium, we need at least 2,000 milligrams a day for healthy adults, just no matter what. But if you're on keto, you probably need about 1,000 more. So we're looking at about 3,000 milligrams of potassium. So now there are foods that we can eat that will help us to get those amounts in, and you should definitely make sure that you are getting those on a daily basis. This also does say that you don't have to worry about getting too much potassium. So it's not something that we have to worry about overdosing on. I mean, unless you're taking a supplement already that has high amounts of potassium in it, then you could run into maybe being too high. But it's pretty hard, I believe, to get too high. So some of the symptoms, if you're low on potassium, and this is interesting because I've had several of these: hypertension, cardiac arrhythmia, muscular weakness and muscle cramps, weakness, constipation, depression and irritability, heart palpitations, skin problems, respiratory depression, heart failure, severe deficiency if you have heart failure, okay? But I have had issues with constipation, definitely had issues with depression and irritability, and heart palpitations. That's a big one. Now, I have heart palpitations from time to time when my thyroid levels dip too low. I will get heart palpitations. You can also get them if your thyroid levels go too high. But I really feel, because I know I'm taking my thyroid and I know that my levels are in check. So if I'm having these symptoms, it's probably because of low potassium. So I'm going to start really upping my game on this whole potassium electrolytes thing, because I have been feeling really tired and weak. And I shouldn't be on keto. And I know that in the beginning, I got that really big, huge burst. And I still get those bursts of energy, but then I do kind of crash. And I'm thinking that that has a lot to do with my electrolytes. So that's really interesting to know. Now, some of the foods that you could eat that are really high in potassium are, of course, avocados. So that's why a lot of times you see people with these beautiful plates of food and then half of an avocado sliced up with salt and pepper. It's really a great side to add to your meals. Pop that avocado on there and eat it up. It's going to give you some great fats and great potassium. It has 1,000 milligrams of potassium per piece of, it says per average piece of avocado, and I'm not sure, we'd have to look that up to see what a whole avocado has, but it's high. So you're gonna knock out a big chunk of your needs for potassium with avocado. Nuts are great, 100 to 300 per serving. Dark leafy greens, are great. Salmon is really good, 800 milligrams per fillet. Mushrooms are good. So salmon, I love salmon. I want to start making that probably like at least every week or every other week dinner for me, because I love it. And then throw in your avocado there. Whew, you're gonna be flying high on your potassium. All right, so then let's move on to magnesium. So magnesium, I've been chronically low in magnesium even before I started keto. So I was already taking, I supplement magnesium. I take 500 milligrams every single day, and a lot of the times I take 1,000. I know that might sound high, but the recommended is 400, and that's just for the average healthy person. But most people are very depleted in magnesium. So don't be afraid to take 1,000 of magnesium, and especially if you're having constipation issues. My doctor told me take as much as you need until you go. And once you go, then you back off of your magnesium. But don't be afraid of it. But take at least 500 milligrams of magnesium a day. I take 1,000. And then, so foods that are high in magnesium are going to be nuts again. Almonds specifically are very high, 75 milligrams. Let's see, so we don't need as much in milligrams of magnesium as the other two. Artichoke, 75 per average piece. I believe that means like a whole artichoke. So maybe on the avocado, it's 1,000 for a whole avocado. Someone let me know down there if that's right. And then fish is high in magnesium, 60 milligrams. Spinach, 75 milligrams per cup. And molasses, which I don't know if we have much molasses on keto. But anyway, so that's magnesium. So let's talk about sodium. So sodium, all right, I apologize for the light. I don't know if this is better. I'm hoping so. Anyway, so for sodium, we need to be having 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams per day. So that's a lot, and I don't think people realize that. So especially on keto, sodium is a big one. We really need to make sure we're getting our sodium in. So I tell people, here's my pink Himalayan salt. It goes on everything. Like even if it's something I really don't like salt on, then I don't put it on there. But pretty much all my foods are salted. And you can even sprinkle a pinch or two in your coffee. You don't even necessarily taste it, but just so that little pinch helps quite a bit. And of course, I always put salt in my water. So, so for sodium, another tip for sodium is to drink like a 1 or 2 cups of bouillon broth per day. And that's going to give you a lot of sodium. Let me see what I have in my cupboard for broth. I'll be right back. This is what I had in my cupboard. It's probably really bad for you. But let's see here. 910 milligrams of sodium for 1 cube, which is, it doesn't tell me, I believe it's about a cup. I'm going to guess if you, yes, 1 cup, 1 cube in 1 cup of boiling water, and you've got yourself 800 milligrams of sodium. And it's actually pretty good. It tastes yummy. You could even add a little bit of butter to your bouillon and give yourself a little bit of a bulletproof style bouillon broth, and you're going to get a lot of sodium. So if you're struggling and you're having all of these symptoms, give that a try and see if you feel better. I'm definitely going to work this in, and I might look for a better quality broth, because it's really nice to have it on hand and just, you know, you've got it there when you need it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a really quick way that I like to get my sodium in. And since I supplement with my magnesium, I'm not going to worry about that in my drink. And I like to get my potassium from my foods, which isn't too hard to do. If you're following keto and you're eating, you know, your healthy greens and your meats and your avocados and things like that, you're going to probably be pretty okay on your potassium. So anyway, let's get started. I have here my beautiful cup. My sister got me this for my birthday, and I was like, this is so perfect for my salty water that I want to make. And it's got sparkles. Can you see the sparkles? They go up and down. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, I'm all about the sparkles. So I love this. It's pretty cool. So this is going to be my salty water concoction. And I already have filtered water in here with some ice. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can see this. There we go. So if you look at your container of Himalayan salt, you're going to see it says a 1/4 teaspoon is 420 milligrams of sodium. So that's a nice amount. So I'm going to take a 1/2 teaspoon. So here is a 1/2 teaspoon, which I'm going to put into the water. And then what I like to do is I have all of these Mio flavors here, okay? There's lots of flavors. Blackberry raspberry, black cherry. Now these have, some of these have B12 in it, some of them have energy. This one is tropical cherry. And then this is a different black cherry. This one has caffeine as well as B vitamins, and this one doesn't have anything, I believe. No vitamins in this one, just flavoring. And then my favorite is this orchard apple. So I like to put a couple squirts in there, and then I'm just going to shake it up. Give it a nice shake. It's kind of spraying out everywhere. So here we have a very quick water that it's going to get your water requirements in. It's going to get your water requirements in, and it's also going to give you the salt, the sodium that you're needing, and it tastes good. So let's give this a try. This tastes so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this tastes like a salty apple. Like if you were to bite into just a really fresh, crisp apple with a little bit of salt. And I love salt, so for me that's like totally fine. I think I could drink this. And I've been neglecting myself of this yumminess. So, got my pretty sparkly cup, got my sodium in here, got my water. It's healthy, it's good for me, and I think this is going to help bring me up out of that slump that I've been in, just not feeling like at the top of my game. I haven't been having that energy that I know I should be having. So give this a try, and then you can try it with different flavors. So yeah, lots of fun, but my favorite one is definitely the orchard apple. I love it. So cheers.